Okay. Good afternoon from all of us at the National Development Bank. Welcome to the first Investor Relations webinar for 2015. We are delighted today to host this webinar on the first working day after announcing our full year results last Friday. So let me perhaps spend the next 15 or 20 minutes taking you through a few slides which outlines the key performance highlights for the year, and then engage in an interactive discussion and try and either clarify any issues you may have had or try to respond to any questions you have. So with your permission, let me move forward. I believe that the presentation I'm about to take you through is already hosted online. So in terms of the overall performance, the bank had an extraordinary year, 12 months, with a well all-rounded set of KPIs literally outperforming the industry. This slide shows you the various attributes of the balance sheet and income statement. So net interest income has grown by 13% against an industry average of around 8%. The non-interest income has grown by around 11%, just over to 5 billion rupees, against an industry growth of around 15%. The operating expenses or overheads has been curtailed extraordinarily to just under 6%, which is against an industry average of around 13%. The profit before income tax for the bank has grown by 38%, and the profit attributable to ordinary shareholders has grown by 56% during these 12 months. The loans, the primary source of asset utilization, the loans and advances, have grown by around 28%, which is more than double that of the industry figures which we have. And the main source of funding, which is the customer deposits, have also grown by 17%, which is again above the industry growth of around 12%. And the asset book in total has grown by 30%, again outperforming the industry by literally double. So in summary, for this slide, the snapshot is that the profit attributable to shareholders grew by 56% during these 12 months. This slide highlights some of the operating matrices and also highlights the incremental growth over the 12 months, ladies and gentlemen. The operating income has grown more than 1.4 billion rupees, while the operating cost has grown very modestly over just under 350 million at 347. Loans and advances have grown by a whopping 39 billion, while the customer deposits mobilized have grown by 22 billion. This was against the backdrop of the bank opening 5 new branches, because we curtailed our branch growth during the ongoing merger discussions with DFCC Vardhana. And we had a net increase of 161 people in terms of staff engagement. What is important is the loan growth for NGP accounts for approximately 10% of the industry growth during the year. And of course, on the right-hand side of this slide, you see a spider graph which really shows in red the NDB's performance, which for 2014, which really outperforms the 13 performance which was shown in blue. So that's a graphic view of some of the KPIs which shows consistent growth during the 12 months. This slide shows charts of a market share in key attributes. In terms of loans and advances, the bank's growth of 28% now gives us a market share of approximately 4.7%. That is a growth from 4.1% during the previous year end. Deposits have grown by 17% during the year, which gives us a new market share of around 3.3%, which again improved from the previous year end's 3.1%. And the asset book, the total assets, we now command around just under 4% at 3.8% to be precise, and that is against the previous year's in figure of 3.4. So on all three fronts, it has been growth, consistency, with a focus to become bigger and more profitable. This slide gives you some of the key performance indicator matrices, again comparing 2014 to the previous year, and where appropriate, the industry norms. So return on equity, just under 16% at 15.8. Return on average assets at 1.74%, that is ROA after tax, Chandana? Yes, again outperforming what we believe is the industry average of 1.4. Net interest margin at 3.33, which is akin to the industry average. And NPAs, we have curtailed our NPAs growth to 2.5 against an industry average of almost double. The capital soundness of the bank stands robust with a total capital adequacy of 17.6%. The earnings per share is just over 25 rupees per share. The book value is at 169.35, and today we are trading at just under 10 times earnings with a price to book at 1.48 times. Again, a very clear, robust, steady growth in indicators. Right. Okay. Some graphic representation of key attributes in performance. The top graph shows the trend in banking revenue, which again shows a steady increase over the last 4 years. And it also shows while the industry's net interest margin depicted in blue coming down sharply to 3.4%, NDB's NII has remained relatively flat at 3.3%. The bottom graphs shows you the composition of the various attributes accounting for the profits, which again shows the component of fees, trading income, gains on investments, and other income. So again, a representative split across the board. And look at this. This shows the cost composition for the 3 years from 2012 to 14. What's interesting is that the administrative costs, which is the most significant component other than HR or personnel, has been curtailed at 46% of the total overheads. And the cost to income of the bank, we've been spending less than 46 cents for every rupee of income, which we believe is well below the industry average of 52. Again, this also demonstrates focus on operating efficiency matrices. This graph shows you the individual components which reconcile the operating profits of 2013 against 14. And you could see the 5 elements of cost and income which are shown. Again, we see the NII leading at 962 with a impairment of 732 and a modest, very modest cost escalation of 347, which leads to this particular figure of just over 6.5 billion in terms of gross operating profits for this year. In terms of asset quality and financial soundness, some graphical representation, we see approximately 75% of the book deployed in local currency assets. Segmentation, the disbursement of loans, we see roughly 42% in corporate, consumer accounting for the mid-20s. It's again showing interesting tussle between SME, retail, and corporate. I think retail and SME is nudging step by step every year, playing an increasingly important contribution, which also helps to rebalance the asset classes and contributions from NII, which defends a sustainable net interest margin. In terms of the deposits, you can see we have around 76% in fixed and 24% of CASA, 25% of CASA. This is still well below the industry, which is in its high 30s. But for a bank which just 10 years of a history in commercial banking and deposit mobilization, I think we are very pleased to have achieved a CASA of around 24 to 25%. And this will remain one of the 2 key areas of focus in 2015, fee income and CASA mobilization. The customer loan growth, you could see the 28% very sharp growth, which is, I think, done pretty well in relation to the industry. And the pie, the bottom pie shows, the graph shows the robustness of the capital adequacy of the institution. In terms of overall, I think we have repeated this graph. This graph was also previously depicted in an earlier slide in terms of NPL movement. But the important thing to note here is the industry has also started to come down, and the bank has defended its position well below industry average. The bottom left graph shows you the individual contributions to NPL. The 2 sharp bars which are worthy of note is For wood and paper, we have around 8%. That is mainly the one-off NPL which we provided towards the last quarter of last year for Teakwood paper, and we are seeing a very positive recovery action which we hope will kick back things back into a P&L during the first half of this year. Some tangible actions taken to recover. And the second, the largest bar, the lateral bar, is in the hotel and tourism sector at 10.7. The main contributor to this is one single leisure property which got into NPL status in the last quarter of last year. It is currently being repositioned for capital infusion with a strategic investor, and we are confident that that too will come out of NPLs during the first 4 to 5 months of 2015. So both these one-off NPLs are well within, in our opinion, well within manageable and reversible trend. Customer deposits growth shown at 17% along with the CASA growth, and as seen in the bottom, the incremental contribution from our 3 new products, the Salary Max, the NDB Shilpa minor savings account, and the Real Saver, which was revamped, all 3 which was revamped in 2014, have helped towards this rising CASA to around 25%, and we are very confident that they will continue to play a prominent role in spearheading the CASA growth during 2015. A couple of, the bank has also had its fair share of recognition both locally and internationally. Just for your consumption, I will highlight a couple. The flagship was for the bank was being the sole recipient globally of the Award for Financial Inclusion by the Banker in November 2014, which is a singular honor for the bank. One award for the entire world. And then you had the Banking and Finance Award for the Commercial Bank, the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce or the National Chamber of Commerce excellent performance for the banking sector, and then you had banking awards, and then of course for our the Euro Money Investment Bank of the Year for 2014, as well as the similar award for Bangladesh. So NDB Investment Bank happens to be the only investment bank in the entire Asia region which won a twin awards for 2 markets in 2014. And this bank as Sri Lanka's premier investment bank, a very important part of the group of NDB. So that, I guess, concludes the overall presentation for 2014. And now I would be delighted to take any questions or clarifications you may have. We have our investor relations team, which involves Austin Faizan as CFO, Suendrini, Muthukumar, and the 2 AVPs in finance, and Fudari PM, our investor relations colleague with Dhananjay Sinhajaraja, VP Finance, along with me to take any questions or queries you may have. Over to you. You could also use the chat option on the screen to make any questions while others speak up. It's your time, gentlemen. future. We have a couple of questions on chat. Additional tax liability is rupees 846 billion for the group. How much is it on company basis for NDB Bank? At this point in time, we believe it is around 800, based on the higher side of estimation. As you probably realize, there is an intense engagement with the Finance Ministry through the Bankers Association and the group of auditors representing various banks. But what we have done is taken a conservative approach and quantified what we think is the worst case outcome at this stage. There's another question also on NPL since January 2015. Okay. I think I already answered that in my presentation. We believe that the 2.51, which was shown as at end of December, is expected to come down during Q1, mainly due to an intense focus on all fronts of retail, SME and corporate, as well as the two main NPAs which were highlighted in Q4 2014, being well on its way in terms of rehabilitation and recovery efforts. So we are very confident that the Q1 numbers will be certainly less than the 2.51. The reason for low deposit growth of 0.9% Q1Q comparison to 7.9 in the September quarter. What you've got to understand is we demonstrated an overall annual growth of 17%. Towards the year end, the market was also flooded with liquidity, and we had some interesting options to fund the asset growth during the year, including the IFC's mobilization of $200 million from IFC. So we was, to put it mildly, we have a choice, ladies and gentlemen. So we took a prudent decision to minimize the mobilization of costly deposits and only pick and choose what made business sense to us. But saying that, for 2015, the growth aspirations would be as expected. It would be more towards the 20% growth. Then we have a couple of other questions on chat. What is the status of the amalgamation of DFCC with NDB? I think Arjun Fernando, in his India announcement this morning, had also given some intimation which was covered in the press. I guess from our point of view, we are as bullish as we were in the last quarter of 2014. As you are very well aware, there was a material event which took place in our country on the 8th of January, and we are still under 5 weeks since that particular date. So sooner than later, I guess the three CEOs, that is Vardhana, DFCC and myself, would engage constructively with the regulators and the government agencies, which also represent significant shareholding, to get their views, whether there is consistency in thinking in relation to the previous owners, and if so, things would go in as planned. If there is any variation in thinking, we would then engage and try to understand the reasons for the variation and try to clarify any need for clarification. But at this point in time, I would like to reiterate 2 points. NDB as a group is as bullish on consolidation as it was 1 year ago. And secondly, it sees the need for inorganic growth as an integral and important catalyst to achieve our 3 to 4 year strategic goals in terms of market share and scale. So that remains unchanged. And another question on chat: which sectors are contributing to higher loan growth, project finance, etc.? I would say the success of NDB for the 12 months has been a robust growth across the value chain, starting from retail throughout SME into project and corporate banking. I think we have had the benefit of a very strong tracking mechanism, which has been the baby of our planning guys. And my role has been, along with the CFO, to keep a set of 6 eyes in 3 different directions, focusing on retail, SME, and corporate akin, to make sure that the growth has been parallel. And this, I think, reinforces NDB's belief that development banking is not about project financing or long-term financing. It is about the belief that you start with the development of an individual, and through taking care of an individual's basic needs, you build small enterprises in communities, and through a collective development effort of building communities, you build a nation. And I think that is what we have propagated consistently, and the numbers and the diversification in the book, which you are now seeing, is also a reinforcement of that firm belief. Why? How are margins fared in January 2015? It's a tough call. As you would have imagined, in a single-digit environment, there would be downward pressure on margins as expected. But I think NDB's strategy has been recognizing this well ahead to defend our margins, which are at the lower 300s, in a 2-pronged effort. One is to improve the contribution from fees, and secondly, to drive up and rush up the CASA contribution, so that the overall profitability of the book and the business is defended and is as robust as possible. And I think that strategy will receive increased focus in 2015. We have another comment on why has the drop in capital adequacy ratios year on year. Naturally, as a growth of the book, and as was expected, 2014 has seen a significant shift in asset growth of 30% and loans of around 28%. And as we see more and more shift from zero-rated government securities into meaningful asset classes which reflect our exposure to the real economy, naturally there will be a strain or a demand on capital adequacy. But that is something which any growing bank will take upon its stride, and we have a very clear strategy to defend our medium-term Tier 1 and total capital adequacy plans and aspirations by way of some clear strategies for 2015. And also you may note that our leveraging has increased to about 10% in 2014, which has also contributed towards a slight dip in capital adequacy, which is still well ahead of the regulatory norms. We've got another question, so I beg your pardon. How is the credit card business of NDB? What do we say, 1,000%, is it? We had a very, very small base in 2013 where the management at that time was even contemplating closing this business. But I think we all got together in August 2013 and said, we are back in cards, we believe in cards, and we believe that the card is an integral component of mapping people's lifestyle. And I think in the full year 2014, our base has exceeded 10,000 new cards, and I think the growth has been in excess of about 1,000%. So this is in the right journey. We will see it continuing to play a very important role in the wallet of retail portfolio. What is the status of the super tax for imposition? I think that was already quantified. We have also in the annual accounts which will be published, we will, similar to all other banks, I believe, we will be putting a note to the balance sheet. The current estimated quantification for the group is around 846 million, give or take. Branch expansion for 2015, it is definitely going to be faster than 14. We would expect a minimum of 15 new branches. And in the first 5 weeks of this year, we have just done 4 new branches. We hope to open 6 branches at minimum by March. Another question. The bank has achieved a strong growth in leases. Are these largely vehicles for personal use, or is there a large component of vehicles for commercial? I think it's a reasonable mix, but the bias, the focus being more towards personal use than commercial. I think that maps our strategy, that if we look at the 3 most important personal requirements of middle class Sri Lanka, it's affordable housing, affordable transport and funding means of affordable transport, and thirdly, but also equally more important, funding education at affordable cost. And I think that strategy has paid dividends for us, and we will continue to focus in these 3 pillars. There's a question about fee-based income. How do you plan to increase fee-based income? This is apart from the credit cards. Yes, some of our champions which are now maturing, bancassurance is going to play a major role. Last year we only had less than half the branch network enabled to do assurance, but in 2014-15 we will have the entire network of NDB branches fully into bancassurance with AIA, and we will see the growth coming in systemically. Wealth management is another very important area. As you will appreciate, a single-digit interest regime is going to threaten and challenge the savings wallet of branches. And what we have is the largest wealth manager, private sector wealth manager in the country, NDB Wealth Management, which today has an asset pool under management in excess of 100 billion rupees. So the entire network of NDB will cross-sell to customers deposits as well as mutual funds and wealth management solutions, so that within the group we will make sure there is minimum attrition of wealth going out of the group, and whatever goes into wealth management will also kick in additional fee income to the bank. How do you plan to pay super gains tax with existing cash flow? I don't think we see a problem in settling it. I don't think we'll be looking for installment payments. I think we will pay it as it comes. Would there be an impact on dividend payout? No. I think we are confident, assuming that the 846 million materializes. It is our challenge to make sure that in 2015, our profit attributable to ordinary shareholders also increases by an amount not less than 846 million to defend our dividend payout. And I think as a team, and with the support of all of you as our valued investors and commentators, we are pretty confident that we can reach that target. We've got a lot of questions on chat, but not had the privilege of listening to any of you personally. Any more questions to come? Look, in the absence of any more questions, must thank all of you. I believe we have more than 20 of you who have logged in today, which gives us the confidence that this effort we have put in investor relations is worthwhile. I think we are probably the only institution which has also come out within the first 24 hours of a working day after finishing or releasing our results to you in public. I believe that the full presentation is loaded on YouTube and is available for those who haven't had the opportunity of dialing in. So let me, on behalf of my colleagues in management of NDB, wish every one of you, okay, before I do that, there's one final question. What is the CASA growth driver this year? Certainly we will target 30%, even though the internal aspiration is to be around 27. I think the main driver will come from two areas. SME Sri Lanka, more and more acquiring of SMEs, especially with our distributor financing scheme, we will see more and more CASA kicking in, and I believe that the rollout of digital banking, along with the 5 new retail products which we launched last year, will mature and kick in to increase the CASA from the existing 25 to the 27, 28%, and who knows, knock at the 30% range. So thank you very much again. It's been a pleasure interacting with all of you and wishing all of you a successful day. Bye-bye.